The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the Arizona sky in hues of orange and purple. The vast expanse of the desert seemed to glow with an ethereal light, casting long shadows across the rugged terrain. As the day transitioned into night, the sky became a canvas of vibrant colors, a breathtaking spectacle that only the Arizona desert could offer. It was November 5th, 1975, a date that would soon be etched into the annals of history, remembered for an extraordinary event that defied explanation. The air, still warm from the day's sun, began to cool. The gentle breeze carried with it the scent of sagebrush and the promise of a tranquil evening. The desert, though harsh and unforgiving during the day, transformed into a serene and almost magical place as night fell. Inside their pickup truck, Travis Walton and his six-man logging crew joked and traded stories. The camaraderie among them was palpable, a bond forged through long hours of hard work and shared experiences in the wilderness. They were headed home after a long day felling trees in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near the small town of Snowflake. The forest, dense and shadowy, was a stark contrast to the open desert they had just left behind. The rhythmic hum of the engine and the fading light lulled them into a comfortable silence. The road ahead seemed endless, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through the heart of the wilderness. The tranquility of the evening was shattered in an instant. A sudden, intense light flooded the forest, transforming the familiar surroundings into an alien landscape. As they rounded a bend in the desolate forest road, a blinding light pierced through the windshield. The men shielded their eyes, struggling to comprehend the source of the illumination. The truck's engine sputtered and died, plunging them into darkness. The sudden silence was deafening, amplifying the tension that gripped the crew. Panic gripped the men as a disc-shaped object, glowing with an eerie blue light, hovered silently above the road ahead. The sight was both mesmerizing and terrifying, a phenomenon beyond their wildest imaginations. Fear turned to terror as Travis, compelled by an unknown force, leaped from the truck and ran towards the blinding light. His actions were inexplicable, driven by a mix of curiosity and an overwhelming sense of urgency. His crewmates watched in disbelief as a beam of intense blue light enveloped Travis, lifting him off the ground. The light was so bright and powerful that it seemed to defy the very laws of nature, casting an eerie glow over the entire area. He disappeared into the heart of the glowing craft with a flash of light. The moment was surreal, almost as if time had slowed down, allowing the men to witness every detail of the abduction. The terrifying scene unfolded in a matter of seconds. It was as if the night itself had come alive, filled with an unearthly energy that none of them could comprehend. The men in the truck were frozen in fear, their minds struggling to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Their hearts pounded in their chests and their breaths came in short, panicked gasps. Then just as quickly as it had appeared, the object shot upwards, vanishing into the night sky. The silence that followed was almost deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. Silence descended upon the scene. The remaining crew members were left in shock, their friend and co-worker gone, seemingly abducted by a craft not of this world. They stood there, rooted to the spot, unable to move or speak. They were left with more questions than answers. The reality of what had happened was too much to process, leaving them in a state of utter confusion. What had happened to Travis? The question echoed in their minds, a haunting reminder of the night's events. Where had he been taken? The desolate surroundings offered no clues, only adding to the sense of dread that filled the air. Would they ever see him again? The uncertainty was unbearable, a heavy weight that pressed down on their spirits. The weight of the unknown pressed down on them, heavy and suffocating. Each man felt the burden of the unanswered questions, the fear of the unknown. They knew they had to get help, to tell someone what they had seen. The urgency of the situation spurred them into action, despite their overwhelming fear. Travis found himself on board the alien craft, his senses overwhelmed by a strange mix of fear and wonder. The interior was dimly lit, the air thick and heavy. Confused and disoriented, he stumbled to his feet, his eyes struggling to adjust to the strange surroundings. He appeared to be in a large metallic chamber, devoid of any familiar features. He was not alone. 3 figures approached him, their movements fluid and silent. They were tall and slender, with smooth gray skin and large black eyes that seemed to bore into his soul. Fear coursed through him, but he couldn't move, couldn't speak. He felt paralyzed, helpless under their intense gaze. The beings communicated without words, their thoughts somehow appearing in his mind. They examined him with detached curiosity, prodding and probing him as if he were a specimen under a microscope. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the remaining members of the logging crew had driven to the nearest town their story met with a mixture of disbelief and skepticism. The authorities, suspecting foul play or a fabricated story, subjected the men to intense questioning and polygraph tests. The more they insisted on the truth of their story, the more they were met with doubt and suspicion. Days turned into nights, and still, there was no sign of Travis. Hope began to dwindle, replaced by a gnawing sense of despair. The weight of their secret, the unbelievable truth of what they had witnessed, became a heavy burden to bear. The media descended upon the small town of Snowflake, eager to capitalize on the sensational story of the missing logger and his alleged alien abduction. The world watched and waited, captivated by the mystery that unfolded in the Arizona desert. 5 agonizing days passed. 5 days of relentless questioning, of searching, of clinging to hope while battling the despair that threatened to consume them. Travis's family and friends endured a living nightmare, their anxiety growing with each passing hour. The story of Travis Walton's disappearance spread like wildfire, captivating the nation and sparking heated debates about the existence of extraterrestrial life. Skeptics dismissed it as a hoax, a publicity stunt, or a case of mass hysteria. Believers pointed to the consistency of the witnesses' stories, their willingness to undergo polygraph tests, and the lack of any other plausible explanation. Then, just as suddenly as he had vanished, Travis reappeared. He was found dazed and confused, 5 days after his disappearance, at a gas station several miles from where he had last been seen. He was disoriented, dehydrated, and terrified, with only fragmented memories of his ordeal. He remembered the blinding light, the strange craft, and the beings with the large black eyes. His reappearance only deepened the mystery. His story remained unchanged, even under hypnosis. The details he recounted, though fragmented and dreamlike, were chillingly consistent with the accounts of his crewmates. He spoke of medical examinations, of telepathic communication, of a terrifying journey through the vastness of space. The Travis Walton UFO incident became one of the most well-documented and controversial cases of alleged alien abduction in history. It sparked countless books, documentaries, and investigations, dividing public opinion and igniting imaginations worldwide. Despite years of scrutiny and debate, the truth of what happened that night in the Arizona desert remains elusive. Travis, forever marked by his experience, became a reluctant celebrity, thrust into the spotlight of a phenomenon he never sought out. He faced ridicule and disbelief, but also support and understanding from those who believed his story. Through it all, he remained steadfast in his account, his conviction unwavering. The Travis Walton UFO incident stands as a testament to the enduring power of the unknown, a story that has captivated the minds of many for decades. It is a story that challenges our perceptions of reality, forcing us to confront the possibility that we are not alone in the vast expanse of the cosmos. The incident, which took place in 1975, has been the subject of numerous debates, documentaries, and even a Hollywood movie. It is a story that continues to fascinate and intrigue, leaving us with more questions than answers. The accounts of those involved, especially Travis Walton himself, have been scrutinized and analyzed, yet the mystery remains. Did Travis Walton really experience an alien abduction, or was it an elaborate hoax, a figment of imagination, or something else entirely? What happened to him during those 5 missing days? The details of his return, disoriented and with a strange story to tell, only add to the enigma. Are we truly alone in the universe, or are there other beings out there watching, waiting, perhaps even visiting our planet? The vastness of space holds countless secrets, and the Walton incident is just one of many that hint at the extraordinary. These are questions that continue to haunt us, reminding us that some mysteries may never be fully solved. The search for answers drives both scientists and enthusiasts alike, pushing the boundaries of our understanding. The truth, as they say, is out there, and the quest to uncover it is a journey that spans generations, fueled by curiosity and the desire to know more about our place in the universe. And perhaps, someday, the answers to this enduring mystery will be revealed. Until then, we are left to ponder and speculate, piecing together fragments of information in the hope of understanding the bigger picture. Until then, the story of Travis Walton's abduction will continue to captivate our imaginations, reminding us that there are still wonders in this world, and beyond, that we are only beginning to understand. The unknown beckons, and it is up to us to seek out the truth, no matter how elusive it may be.